You know what? I actually like doing these monthly themes. Here is part 3 on the ASL installment. As I did last week, there will be a link in the description box below to my very first video, which has a lot of tips, reminders, and things to consider when working with young children. And by young children, I am including infants. I also added a link to my second video in the description box below if you want more information about those signs that I went over in that video. Now, as a quick review, here are the signs that I went over for the past 2 weeks. More, all done, play, eat, drink, milk, water, cars and trucks, please, thank you, mom, dad, go. And now time for the new words. Baby. Baby is made as if you are cradling a baby, so one hand on top of the other. Usually there is a rocking motion with it, not always. Some modifications I've seen for a baby is more of a hug look, and usually that is incorporating the movement of baby, baby. Ball. Ball is made with curved fingers coming together so it creates a circle between the two hands. I don't know why I said curved fingers, but I'm leaving that in. Modifications I have seen for ball are the more straight fingers. Now, I do not know ASL. I'm not fluent in ASL, but I do know straight fingers put together does not equal ball in ASL. I've seen children do it with straight fingers. I have seen just with the top fingers coming together. Ball. Dog. Dogs are a household pet, especially my home. 3 dogs. Dog is also one of those signs where there are so many ways to do it, and thus there are so many ways to modify it. The long way to sign dog is to pat your hip or your upper thigh twice and then snapping twice. Now, because that's kind of a longer sign, a lot of people do shorten it to either patting the hip twice or snapping twice. I've seen so many modifications for dog, mainly because it can be broken up into either the hip pats or the snaps. I have some clients that prefer the hip pat. I have some clients that prefer the snap. Modifications I've seen for all of dog is not patting the hip, but patting the knee, the thigh, or just making the movement of patting the hip or patting the thigh. Some modifications I've seen for the snap is just putting their hand up and shaking it. Yes, this can get confusing with milk, so you have to take it within context. Or any other modification for that, I've seen kids with their fingers and they're just moving them up in the air. They don't have the skill to snap yet. Apparently, I don't have the skill to snap. Dog. Cat. Cat is a bit easier than dog. Cat is with your fingers, and it's essentially you're drawing the whiskers on yourself. Cat. Modifications I have seen for cat is less finger work, more fist work, and you go from the nose out. Sometimes people have their own sign for cat because, again, a cat is a household animal. I think once before I actually did cat as if I'm petting a cat. Go figure. Cat. Fish. Fish is an interesting one. People have them as pets, and they're just cool to look at. Fish is made by bringing your hand forward, moving it back and forth as you're going across your front. This does cross midline. And because it's a motion, some kids might get it. Some kids may stop at midline. Modifications I've seen for fish, it's just a straight line cross, going forward with it, which is easier developmentally wise. Or sometimes there are family expressions for it. In my clinic, I have seen fish going forward, and I've actually seen children do the fishy face. Fish. Yes. Yes. Yes is an important one, and I know yes was not one of the first signs I did. There's a reason for that. Yes is made by making a fist, and at your wrist, just moving your fist up and down, as if your fist is your head and you're nodding your head. Modifications I have seen for yes, this movement, but doing it further down on the body, not next to your head. I've also seen yes where it's a shake of the wrist instead. Yes. No. No is made with your thumb and your first two fingers, all of them coming towards each other. Just like yes, I know that no is brought down to a later sign that I'm introducing. No is actually typically picked up before yes. Modifications I have seen for no is shaking the wrist for no, or doing this or any motion of a closed hand anywhere else around the body. No. C. C is made by using your first two fingers under the eye and coming out. Some of the more common modifications is using one finger towards one eye and then pointing outward. I use that one in the clinic a lot. Sometimes there is movement at the wrist. Sometimes children just tap their eye for saying, I see. See is an interesting one because this can also go for look, watch, I spy. See is a word that I don't think is very appreciated. See is so important because it does open up a pathway of communication between you and someone that's using the sign. C. Help. Help involves both hands. One hand is flat in front of you, the other hand is a fist, thumbs up, on top of the flat hand. Help is, oh my word, I should have introduced this one before. Super important. It engages somebody to talk to you personally. It says they need something. Help is so critical. And plus, it's kind of a fun one because it's more complex, but it's highly motivating, especially when something is broken and a child needs help. Modifications I have seen for this, they're interesting. Fist on top of the closed hand, hands on each other, one hand on top of the other, but on the wrist. I have seen all sorts of things. It's usually when hands come together, but it's not more. Help. Thank you so much for watching this. I will be posting a fourth video for the last week of February. That's creepy. That's crazy. I don't like that. Regardless, I will be wrapping up February with a fourth video of ASL that I commonly use in my clinic. If you have any signs that you want, please let me know. Thank you so much. Have a terrific day. I will see everyone next week. Of course it's front-facing camera. I only have front-facing camera. More. All done. What's the next one? Drink. Yes. Cat is a bit easier than dog. Put your head down. It's okay. There's no cats here. There's no cats. Thank you. Wow. Is my wrist cracking being picked up right now? I feel like a bird when I do that.